This week we've been talking about ways to look 10 years younger by the holidays. Dr. Bill Johnson of Innovations Med Spa is here to tell us about procedures that can take 10 years off your face and your hands in a matter of minutes. Bill, good to see you as always.
Morning.
Good morning. I cannot wait to talk about the hands. That's exciting to me. Let's start with the face, though.
Okay.
What are some of the signs that we start seeing when we think, well, we want to look younger? What do we do to our face?
Well, one of the very first things you want to think about is how do you get rid of some of these active wrinkles around between our eyes, on our forehead, around our eyes. And Botox is definitely the first step we think of. Now, it's very effective in the right hands. It's very safe. It involves just a little needle prick, and you can see a big difference in the wrinkles in just a day or so. The other thing that's nice is with Botox, you can not only see fewer wrinkles, but people will look less tired, they'll look less worried, and often less angry, because some of us tend to get a little angrier looking
with those different. So we look a little bit more lifted and happy. Okay,
and
Botox seems like a really quick, easy, painless fix.
Very easy, very painless.
Okay, sometimes we get dark spots on our face or those blood vessels. What can we do to kind of erase those signs of aging?
Well, the first thing to remember when you're looking at the dark spots or the blood vessels is they are signs of sun damage. And so you always want to remember sunblock, 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 because that's how we prevent them. Now, that said, once you've got them, you've got them. So intense pulse light, which is, goes by the name IPL, is a very effective way of dimming and getting rid of the age spots. This is showing a décolleté, and the décolleté area is a wonderful place to treat because the results are so dramatic.
That is so dramatic. I mean, and that is such a sign of aging when we see sun damage like that. So obviously the other side of that is prevention and using that sunblock.
Using the sunblock.
Everywhere, especially on these sensitive areas.
Anywhere you're going to expose to the sun.
And certainly sagging of the face is something that we associate with time and aging. We can look 10 years younger by lifting that. How do we do that?
Well, the best non-surgical way to lift it is Thermage. Thermage uses radiofrequency heating to lift and improve the sagging and the wrinkles. And it works. About 40% of the results are immediate, so you could see results by Christmas. The rest of the results will continue to improve for 6 to 9 months. So Thermage is a really good option for the face on getting rid of the sagging and the wrinkling.
And that's a good option for two reasons. You see the immediate results, which everybody wants, but the fact that it gets better over time just seems like that great added bonus.
It really is. And Thermage works all the way down onto the neck as well. So we are able to do that to help with the chin and the neck.
The gobbler thing.
The gobbler thing, that's right.
Well, you have some really good before and after pictures of Thermage. What are we seeing here?
Well, you can see how much of a good neck tightening she's had, and around the chin you can see much more definition of her chin, much less lines and folds around her mouth. So real improvement.
Dramatic.
And
this is very good too.
This lady definitely, you would say, looks 10 years younger. Again, a lot more definition around her chin, much less folds around her eyes and around her mouth.
And that's exactly what we want to do, look 10 years younger. We don't want to look completely different. We just want to look like we did maybe a little bit earlier in our lives.
And that's one of the real advantages of Thermage is it doesn't make you look like a different person. It helps you look like the same person did when you were younger.
So maybe nobody would even notice. They would just say, wow, you're looking great. You look refreshed. You look
rested.
Rested.
That's the word we tend to hear the most.
And that's great. That's a great comment to get from people. Okay, how about infrared lasers? How are they helping the face?
Infrared lasers also help by building collagen back. That's what's causing the wrinkles. We've lost collagen in those areas, and when we use an infrared laser, it builds collagen back into those areas. And so you can see how before and after we see just less filling. And again, it doesn't change what you look like. It just restores what you used to look like.
Just a little bit rested, a little bit fuller, like we said. Okay, can we talk about the hands? Because this is something I think always shows our signs of aging. Even me, I'm always concerned about my appearance of my hand because I'm fair-skinned. That crepe paper look we want to avoid. How do we keep our hands youthful?
Well, hands have been historically a really tough area because the crepe paper look and the thinning, there's not been a surgical option. So Thermage for the hands, which is a fairly new technique, and not all the practices that have Thermage have experience with hands, but the Thermage on the hands can really help reduce and eliminate the crepe paper look and help re-thicken the skin and give you that texture.
And it seems unfair.
Lost.
Like I said, my friend Tammy Pedanici, she's a good Italian girl. She has darker skin. It doesn't show on her hands, the aging at all. But like we see here, fairer skin, you see the signs of sun damage and that crepe paper appearance so easily. But this is thermage after?
This is really thermage, but also intense pulse light. You can see how the dark spots are gone.
Yeah.
And we use the IPL on the hands, and we're able to get rid of what everybody calls age spots.
Hands are those first signs of aging, and that is dramatic. That's drastic
Really
to look 10 years younger. How about the body? That's what we're going to talk about next week.
The body, we're going to, all of us fight the battle of the bulge as we get older.
Yes.
And everything tends to go downwards. So we're going to talk next time about some things we can do to help prevent that.
That's great. And that's that Jane Seymour. She's 56. Do you see her body on Dancing with the Stars?
Pretty good.
Wow. All right, Bill, thank you so much for helping us look 10 years younger this week. Innovations Med Spa has 3 locations. In Dallas, call 214-420-7970. In Grapevine, call 817-410-7970. Procedures are offered at the Stone Dyer Salons and Spa in Fort Worth as well. And for more information, log on to innovationsmedspa.com. All right, up next, help for